The Rosen Report, sports like never before. Brought to you by Gooch Live and Paramount Sports Management. Here's Rosie.
Just when we thought we had Rosie, we lost him. There's got to be a little bit of a technical issue. I know Rosie will be right back with us. You know what? We're going to have a Rosie rant. I'm going to rant for Rosie. No, we'll wait till he comes up. But thank you for joining us on the Rosen Report. I just got off a quick hit with John Liu. I know Scotty Taylor knows Johnny really well. Obviously covers the Winnipeg Jets. But before we're trying to find Rosie, why don't we get Scott and Jordan up? And then once Paul gets back here, he can go into his Rosen Report and we'll go down and hibernate. So let's see, Scott Taylor and Jordan. What happened to Rosie?
I don't know. I think that happened once in the waiting room, but he's back now.
There he is. Sorry, Rosie.
Hey guys.
We will let you Rosen Report. Or
all right.
Rosie.
Okay. My computer not working, so my phone decided to do a little glitch there. Maybe Marc-Andre Fleury had my phone for a second and he dropped it. We'll get into that, I'm sure. It is Saturday. It's Roundtable, a Rosen Report Saturday. Today we got a great one. We got the Gooch as always, and the Fanshawe Kid, Jordan Laroche, and Scott Taylor. Unbelievable. Talking with Taylor on the Roundtable Rosie. First of all, we're going to do a Rosie's rant right now. I am going to rant very quickly about this, man. I talked to Scotty off here for a second. Toronto Blue Jays. If you are a Toronto Blue Jay fan, I'm telling you, this must be so difficult for you right now. From the 7th inning on, 7, 8, and 9, the Toronto Blue Jays have blown a lead in almost every game in the last 2 weeks. I don't know what it's like to sit on that dugout as a player and watch your bullpen go in. I'm telling you, Gooch, and you played second base in Little League in Winnipeg. You probably could go in and pitch as good as any one of the relievers for the Toronto Blue Jays. Something has to change, man. The management, you got to do something because it is ridiculous. As a fan, it's frustrating as can be. I can't imagine what some of the players are busting their tail, and then they look at the bullpen come in and give up leads continuously. Anyways, let's hope that they beat Baltimore. They lost yesterday to Baltimore. Baltimore's one of the most putrid teams in all of baseball, and they got destroyed yesterday. Can they come out of it and win a game tonight? Who knows? We'll see. Let's bring the boys up and talk hockey. Man, last night was unbelievable. Scott Taylor, Kerry Goulet, Kid, boy, how are you?
Not too bad, Rosie.
I'm good. I'm really good. Hey, I'm fantastic. I'm in the Montreal Canadiens dressing room. As you know, I had to leave the Winnipeg Jets dressing room, and now I'm here in Montreal with my good friends. I had a baguette, bottle of wine, but I didn't have a smoke with the French boys.
Coach, how many dressing rooms have you been in this offseason? In the season, anything that's winning, you're in their dressing room.
Well, you know what? I certainly wouldn't want to have been in the Las Vegas dressing room after what went on. We've got a really good roundtable going on. But before that, I know there's lots to talk about. I want to throw by you personally, Rosie. We think that Kaprizov is the rookie of the year. There could be nobody other than the Thrill. And Jordan has pointed out to me, guys, on a couple of occasions, there's talk that he may not even come back. Like the talks have gone cold. Rosie, tell me what's going on, because I'm befuddled.
No. First of all, he wins Rookie of the Year hands down, and second of all, if Minnesota, for whatever reason, doesn't re-up him, that's the silliest thing in the entire world. That's just to get some money. He'll be there next year. There's no way he's not playing in the NHL. It's the best league in the world. He's a Rookie of the Year, hands down.
Scott?
They'll sign him. They'll sign him. I would be surprised. I guess he's Moscow's property?
Yeah.
So he'll be signed. I can't. They're going to have fans back in Minnesota next year. People are chomping at the bit to watch Kirill the Thrill play hockey. They'll give him what he needs. He's going to make a lot more money in the National Hockey. He's going to make in the K. So I suspect he's just got an agent who's jerking people around, and eventually this will get done.
It's a report out of Kevin Weeks, who, is a pretty good reporter. He's not going to, throw out stuff there just for the sake of throwing it out. Hey, listen, let's get right into the roundtable, because this one is kind of, there's a couple of really good things that I picked up. It's pretty easy just following the news. But before we get into these 4 points that I have, we do have to say the Montreal Canadiens, that is just unbelievable with all the distractions. Of course, Ducharme, the only person that contracted, the COVID, and he can't participate in last night's game, and then they've got the coaching staff. Last year what went on. It's just absolutely amazing how this team is resilient. It's almost like Teflon. Scott, as we go into this, is it the case that this is a team that's kind of blended together and became a team? The youth and the elderly have come together and they're all on the same page. And then we'll talk about Price right after that, Scott.
No, they're not a very good team. They got outshot 45-27 last night. For the first two periods, they weren't even in the game. The puck was never out of their end. Carey Price should have been the first star, second star, third star. Then they should have given him the fourth, fifth, and sixth stars, then the seventh, eighth, and ninth stars. That was Carey Price, nothing else. That's not a great hockey team. That is a tremendous goaltender playing at absolutely the top of his game. He is the Conn Smythe Trophy winner if they survive this series. I wouldn't be surprised if things turn around and they start getting beat 6 and 7-1. They were not very good last night. They tie it up because Marc-Andre Fleury should be cut from hockey forever for that stupid play. I mean, stay in your net, you donkey. That's as dumb as it gets for a human being. I can't. No wonder he was jumping all over the place and swinging his stick. That was so stupid. It was beyond stupid. And then in the overtime, the defense completely collapses, and Montreal is a 2-0 in overtime. Yeah, because of a bad line change.
But that's not the first time we've seen that with the Montreal Canadiens, a 2-0 in overtime.
If Price doesn't stand on his absolute head for two periods, the shots are 35-8 after two periods.
But Scott, I want to go to Rosie on this one because I know goaltending is a big part of it. And Scott, please by all means jump in after this one. Is it Carey Price stealing the show, or is this team kind of become that team and saying, listen, almost like in the old days with Wayne Gretzky and Grant Fuhrer, is it the Montreal Canadiens maybe playing a little bit of that rope-a-dope? 17-3 in shots. Guys, hang on, just bear with me. I didn't see a team that was nervous. I did not see a Canadian team that were falling apart. It seemed as if they still had composure and they really believed in what was going on at the back. Rose.
Okay, listen. First of all, I listened to you and Jordan last night after the game. I've listened to so many people. I've had to climb through my computer and my phone. The first guy that I actually think has any sense, and that's no disrespect to anybody, is Scott Taylor. What Montreal brutal. I'm watching this game going, how is Vegas not scoring? Carey Price. If they beat Vegas, he wins. Even if they lose in the 4 straight to Tampa or to the Islanders, he wins the Conn Smythe. Like, Montreal was not in this game. I don't know how you guys could even say that they're a rope dope or this or whatever. I don't get it. You had 3 shots and 2 shots for, 5 shots for, 17 against, 18 against. Carey Price stood in his head. And yes, Fleury made a brutal mistake. Puck bounced off the boards and his stick and came out. But, Fleury's a hell of a goalie, and he's played great. That was a stupid play, unbelievably bad. But this game is not even a game without Carey Price. He stood on his head. Come on, man.
I respect you, Rosie. I respect you, Scott. But I'm going to completely disagree with you. And I think that even at 17, hang on a sec here. They're a team in a playoff game that is doing what it needs to win. They are not a better team than a Vegas. Don't get me wrong, but they're a team that knew how to win. They kept the shots, a lot of them outside. They blocked a lot of shots. Look at the blocked shots. They out-hit the Vegas Golden Knights. So I think you got to give Montreal Canadiens just a little bit more respect. You know what, guys? They outshot them in the third period where it counted, and they outshot them in overtime when it counted.
Vegas, real quick. Vegas should have had 6 or 7 in the first 2 periods, okay? Then it wouldn't have been a game.
Scott?
Carey Price.
All right, Jordan,
Right?
jump in with me. Are you agreeing at all with me? Am
I mean,
the
no,
only one
yeah,
with
I was about to make the same point you did with Montreal dominating the third period and overtime. Even though Montreal only had 8 shots going into the third period, they finished the game with over 20. I mean that's a lot of work for Fleury to handle. So I don't totally disagree with you, but I don't agree with you guys either, really.
Okay, Scott.
Mhm.
All this will be to you too. But first for you, Scott, because you've seen some of the all-time greatest goaltenders play. Do you think that Fleury was kind of out of it because of the fact that he wasn't getting the kind of shots that he was expecting, or because he didn't? Was he cold? Somebody said he was cold as ice. I don't buy that one. He's a professional player. He's ready for this. But could there be any thoughts of him not being concentrated in that third period, because it was a dominant display of offense from the Vegas Golden Knights?
I don't. You'd have to ask Marc-Andre Fleury where his head was at when that play happened. I know exactly, as a guy who watches the Winnipeg Jets every night, the butterflies I get in my stomach every time Connor Hellebuck leaves his net to play a puck behind it and tries to shoot it. There are some goaltenders that are good at it. Martin Brodeur was one of the greatest at it, handling the puck. Most goalies don't handle it real well. Some are better than others. And the interesting part was in the overtime, Fleury came out again, and I thought, oh my goodness, what are you thinking? There are some goalies who just don't do it very well, and that was just, boy, that was just a brain cramp. There's a minute and a half to play. You've got the game in the bag. All you have to do is keep dumping it out, and to go around and play it yourself and whatever he was trying to pass it to. I don't know. I don't get that one. Yeah, the Knights should have been way ahead. 2-1 shouldn't have mattered. Blah blah blah. But I without Carey Price, if there's any other goaltender in the league in there, the way he's been playing, I mean, if they're playing Colorado again, it's 6-1. The game's over.
But Scott, some of these goals
in the game with some brilliant saves. The puck seldom ever came out of the Montreal end for 2 periods. It was a dominant performance by Vegas, and the Knights have only themselves to kick for their inability to concentrate enough to score goals, to get themselves in position. I give them credit for shooting the puck. You have to shoot the puck in the playoffs. I give them the credit for doing that. Winnipeg didn't shoot the puck enough. But all kudos to Carey Price, who is playing like it's the Olympics again, and it's time to win Canada gold.
Hey, Rosie, I want to ask you this because of being a goaltender out front for the Montreal Canadiens too. You got Weber blocking shots. You got Suzuki throwing his body in front of the shot. That's got to make you also feel, hey, I got to get back. Like, what these guys are playing out of their socks in front of me, not offensively, but right now the leading scorers on the Vegas Golden Knights are their defense.
Yeah. Listen, the Montreal Canadiens are together. They are doing everything together as a team. I still think that they didn't play great last night. Price stole the show 100%. But I'm going to tell you one thing about Marc-Andre Fleury. He's a great goalie and a winner. He handles the puck above average. What happened last night? And the problem is, it happened in an incredibly big playoff game that everybody's watching. It's 1-1 in the series. It was a critical error in the third period. Was less than 2 minutes left. But all it was he went out behind that like he's done
he just cashed at the wrong time.
Hey, I like that look. I like that look. We should take a picture of that. Hey, listen, Scott, Jordan, I want to ask you this question. Are you? I know that I've picked Montreal in 6. A lot of people still think I'm crazy, but I could be proven right here in a second. Josh Anderson has been dead asleep. Is this a bad sign for the Vegas Golden Knights? Because it looks like they've woken him up a bit by giving him a gift, and it was a gift. As I think they were just paying him back for what Eric Stahl did for Roy scoring his goal. But would you be nervous now as a Golden Knight fan?
I mean, I do really like Josh Anderson. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's going to be a guy to change a series. I don't think he's ever really had that kind of potential. I mean, he's more of a power forward. I think he can make it. He can make a difference in a game, but over the course of a series, it's gonna be really tough for him, especially with the kind of performance he's put up so far. I think he only has the 2 goals that he scored last night in these playoffs. So, while I do think he can make an impact, it won't be like series changing or anything.
Hey, listen, I know Rosie's trying to get back. This is the Rosen Report, so I feel bad that I'm taking over the show. Rosie's coming back up here. I want to change. We're going to go through really quickly, just course, and then I've got a really important topic that I know the three of you can really dig your teeth in, and I think this is going to be a little bit uber charged when I talk to you about this. But first, I want to get a prediction. I'll go to you first, Jordan. The Montreal Canadiens lead this series 2-1. They've got 3,500 crazy fans. You saw the streets in Montreal last night. Everybody's believing in this Maple Leaf magic. Do you think that the Montreal Canadiens tomorrow can go up 3-1?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they just come out with the same attack they had in the third period and overtime last night. It'd be really easy for them to just carry that momentum over. So
I expected that supercharged team coming out yesterday in the first period, and they were not supercharged. Okay, so I want to go to you, Scott. I want to go. I don't know what's going on. Rosie's crying. He's giving us beer. Yes, good to see you, bud.
I got my computer working again.
All right, good. Hey, listen, Scott, I wanted to ask you the same question. Do you think that the Montreal Canadiens have the ability to steal, if it's not Carey Price, steal Game 4 and go up 3-1 in this series?
When you have a goaltender like Carey Price in the playoffs, as hot as he is now, yes, you can. I don't think there's any question about that. This is as good a series of goaltending performances going back to 2 3/4 series that I've seen from any goaltender in the playoffs. It's been a phenomenal performance. So yeah, I don't think there's any question that if Price continues to play the way he's playing, that the Canadiens can win another game. I do have a bright, shiny, just made in the basement $20 bill on the Las Vegas Golden Knights, however.
Good luck.
Because I think they're a better hockey team. And ultimately better hockey teams win. Now, having said that, the reason they give Conn Smythe trophies to goaltenders more than any other position is because that's who changed the games in the playoffs. As one guy smarter than me in my lifetime said, we call it the Stanley Cup playoffs because we can't call it goalie. And the goaltending by Carey Price has proved to be the difference. It was the difference at the end of the Toronto series. It is the difference in this series with Vegas. And yes, he can continue to win games for the Montreal Canadiens. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Paul, I take you back to 1993. Patrick Roy stole the Stanley Cup also because a lot of people didn't think the Montreal Canadiens could win that. And there's some similarities in overtime. They're 4-0. Obviously, we know the run that they had there. Is there how does Vegas get into? And I know you're going to make the prediction, but really quick, how do they get into the head of Carey Price?
They just got, first of all, Carey Price is the best goalie in the league, and he's playing incredible right now. I still think Marc-Andre Fleury is a great goalie. He made a bad gap. The puck hit the boards. It bounced out. I'm going to say it for a million years. I'm watching right now the Para Ice Hockey World Championship started this morning in Ostrava. I wish I could be there, but they won't allow it. And Canada beat the U.S. 2-1. It was the first time in 3 years that Canada's beat the U.S., and it was the opening game of the preliminary. And it was the same thing. Steve Cash went behind that, hit his stick. It happens. Vegas will just keep coming. Don't get worried. Keep coming. You will beat Price eventually. Price is great, but you will. And if you don't beat them, there's nothing you can do. They're going to win. I think Vegas will come back and win it. They were down 2-0 against Colorado. They won 4 straight to win that series in 6. I think they're going to win this series in 6 or in 7. Montreal is playing okay. Carey Price is playing incredible. If Price keeps playing like it is, it doesn't matter. You're going to lose, but I don't think he will.
Jordan?
I think he keeps it up. I mean, he's been on such an incredible roll. It's hard to stop that, and the only way you can stop that is not by not really going into the offseason. But just quickly on that Fleury play, That play happened so much, but just because there was a goal at the end of it, it was highlighted more than any other situation like that. Even when a D-man goes back to his own end for the puck and he kind of fumbles it for its own over, that's the exact same play. It's just because the goalie's doing it, it's highlighted that much more because it ends up in the back of the net too.
Loses you game 3 in the series. I think that's one of the parts that everybody's so excited about. Hey, listen, Germany beat Portugal 4-2 in the Euro. Congratulations, Germany. All right, guys, I want to ask, this is the final question here. This one I think will get a little controversy. I don't know if you've seen it. Cristiano Ronaldo at his press conference, there were 2 bottles of Coke sitting there. Do not forget that Coke is a main sponsor of the 2020 Euro tournament. And I'm asking this question because athletes have to be a little bit more, even though you're the god and you're the stud, you also have to be respectful, not to only the sponsor, but to the tournament that you're playing in and to the fans that are there, because the reason why you have Euro 2020 is because Coca-Cola is spending millions and millions and millions of dollars for it to happen. And Cristiano Ronaldo grabs the 2 bottles of Coke, takes it off, puts it off to the side, grabs a bottle of water and says, I drink water, and then the press conference starts. We've heard the rumors that the stock dropped for Coca-Cola. I'm not sure that's 100% true. It's because of that. But Scott, there you go.
God bless you.
And this, hey, and that was not staged. That was just priceless.
I don't get paid by anybody to promote. Hey, you know what? I'll go. That's a nice one. I like that. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go. I think Ronaldo just thinks he's a king of the world, and some of these guys are bigger than life. So they think they've been put on a pedestal forever, and what he did was wrong. And I don't think he cares. That's the bottom line. I don't think he cares, and it's ridiculous what he did. That's my opinion.
But Paul, Scott, I'll go to you because you know this is a business thing now. It's not just about the sport. Yep. Coca-Cola can use this now as a leverage to say, hey, listen, we're putting all this money in. You've got to be respectful to our product. And yes, you're right. Cristiano Ronaldo does think he is God because he almost is. When you talk about religion for soccer, does he not owe it more? Does he not owe an apology? And if he doesn't apologize and try to make a wrong a right, should the soccer federation not step in and fine him for that and show that they're going to support their sponsors?
Yeah, I think he needs to be fined for what he did. But having said that, the last thing I am concerned about in my life is the stock value of Coca-Cola. I don't think that there's going to be any problem, and I don't think tomorrow when we go to the stores, we're going to be out of Coke Zero, by the way. If Coke wants to sponsor this show, I would love to have them as a sponsor, certainly of my segment on Saturday mornings, Talking with Taylor. So I enjoy the occasional Coke Zero. I think it's a tremendous product. And yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo is bigger than the game. I mean, I think he's not, but he thinks he is, and that's fine. He can do what he wants, but I am not worried ultimately about the value of Coca-Cola stock or of the amount of product that they sell. It's just a guy being whatever he's being.
Okay, but Scott, let me ask you this question.
But ask somebody how Antoine Rietzmann's doing. I'm sure he picked up the Cokes, and he's a pretty damn good football player. He was pretty spectacular today for France.
Yeah.
I wonder maybe a more interesting line of questioning here is, who's the best player in the world? And I love having this conversation. Is it Ronaldo? Is it Messi? I've just fallen in love with Antoine Rietzmann, who was the player of the tournament in 2016. I just think this guy's a heck of a player. And I wondered how you get. Are you big soccer fans, or are you just concerned about the value of Coca-Cola stock?
Well, I do own Coca-Cola stock, so I'm a little annoyed.
I'm not concerned about Coca-Cola because I don't drink it, and I'm not concerned about soccer because I can't stand it. I think Messi. I think Messi. I'll do my rant tomorrow on soccer because you just like if they stop the sniper
Scott.
shooting, the guy running down the field and going down, nobody touched him like the sniper got him from the top, then I might be more interested in it. But no, I guess Messi's one of the best. I don't know.
You know what, Rosie, you're on the right track. This is the part that I like today, and I've quite enjoyed the games that I've watched. I've really quite enjoyed it. It's an incredible talent the way they handle the ball, but as great an athlete as these guys are, and as fit as they are, because they're fit, not one of them would last a shift in the National Hockey League. Not a shift. They'd step on the ice once and go running for their moms. I mean, it's just, I've never seen anything like it. And all it is to bait the one official.
Yeah.
Because it was this morning, I think, and the Hungarian player was behind the French player. The French player ran in front of him, and the Hungarian player, you'd have thought he'd been pulled by two elephants from behind. His feet went up in the air, and he went flying into the turf, and they gave him a free kick. The French player wasn't within 5 feet of him, but the referee is way back at midfield. He's 50 yards down the pitch. He doesn't know what really went on. He just saw the guy fall down, and the French guy ran by him. So he made some dumb call. But after a while, you just get tired of watching all this falling down, and I'm injured, and I'm going to die, and my life is over. Boy, if they were Corey Perry last night, they'd have all given up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really want to do this, but you're starting to see that a lot more in the NBA as well.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And the flop.
Can't stand
it. To try and draw a foul. It's embarrassing. I've stopped watching the NBA the last 5 years, mainly because of that reason. But
listen, this could be the Rosie Taylor rant show all about soccer. But let's just I want to end it with this, because the important question is, yes, soccer has really kind of diminished in my eyes too. Because I was over in Germany, I saw a bunch of games. I actually like the sport. As you said it best, Scott, they're so talented. They're so talented. They're in such great shape. Guerrero has just hit his 23rd home run of the season. So, wow, that guy's on fire. I want to ask this last question. How important, and Paul, you know this, how dangerous and how important is this for athletes? Do they not need to learn how to use this? Go to school, get somebody to prep them with what to say and what not to say? Scott, I'll go with you first.
Actually, Rosie, quickly, one thing before you say that. Cristiano Ronaldo is the most followed person on Instagram, on all social medias, at 300 million people. So I'll put that before Rosie starts.
I think he bought a lot of those, and I think a lot of them are fake act, because I'm not on it.
I think the biggest thing, Scott, you should be involved in this. I think every young player in any sport needs media training, whether it's Scott Taylor or whoever. They need media training before they even step on the court or the pitch or the ice. Media training. Learn what not to do.
All they need to do is watch Bull Durham. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes it rains.
I love it when it rains. Hey, Scott, thank you for being with us. Jordan, you guys are always a pleasure. Paul, Rosen, I was just going to say, I got mine the other day too, but I couldn't find a badge.
No.
I asked a nice lady at the RBC Convention Center for a handful of them. I got a whole bunch.
No. Hey, I got mine like almost 6 weeks ago, my second shot, and I didn't get anything, a badge, a kiss, nothing.
Oh, it's coming in the mail. Hey, Paul, it was a pleasure. Thank you for letting me be the moderator of this crazy.
Did we give our predictions for tonight's game?
Yes, we have.
We have.
All right, really quickly, Jordan's score tonight.
Right now,
Score tonight.
Games. I'm 4-2. Jordan is 1-5, and Gooch, you're 2-4.
Yes,
and my last two games, I was 4-0. My last two games I've lost were both Montreal Canadiens. So I'm going to go with Islanders tonight to tie the series. I'm going to say Islanders 3-2.
I'm going to go Islanders too. I'm going to go Islanders. I'll go 4-3. I think it's going to be a little high scoring.
Scotty?
3-2. Islanders. Yep.
Oh, holy crap, you guys are all. I was going 4-2 for Islanders with an empty net. So we all agree.
I'll take the Islanders.
We all agree on something. We're all going to be opers.
Sorry, that means Tampa's going to win.
Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy your Coke.
Drink your Coke.
Thanks.
Thank
I love Saturdays. I love roundtable Saturdays. I love the fact that we get talking with Taylor on the roundtable now. Hopefully we'll make this a permanent thing. I think for the summer we're going to be doing some things. Gooch has got to decide 100%. But I love Gooch moderating on the Saturday. I love having the Fanshawe kid up. Always good to have his opinion. Scott Taylor's one of the absolute best. Good game tonight. Yes. Islanders have to win to tie it up 2-2. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Robert Wine, you are the best. Let's watch some hockey and baseball. Hopefully, the Toronto Blue Jays will stop this 1,000-game losing streak and beat the putrid Baltimore Orioles today. Have a good evening. Father's Day tomorrow, and be well. God bless.
You've been listening to the Rosen Report, sports like never before, with your host, Rosie. Brought to you by Gooch Live and Paramount Sports Management.